Crypto bros, are you ready? What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. Robinhood is set to report earnings today after the market closes. Crypto bros, I hope that you're ready. Not even just because of that. Well, first off, I need to change it to green because markets are green today. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So even before we talk about Robinhood earnings, wanted to quickly update you guys on this position that I took today. Again, not every trade that I take is obviously green. I took this one during my live trading session today. I saw an overbought reversal form. There's been very little progress on HIMS, down $2,000 on the day. Again, like to show you guys my good days, my bad days, like to show you guys all the trades. That being said, let's talk about Robinhood. Robinhood reports earnings today after the market closes, as well as IONQ, AppLovin, AMC, Dutchworks, Qualcomm, ARM, Snapchat. So make sure whatever company it is that you're invested in and or thinking about investing, if they're set to report earnings today, make sure you make yourself aware of what the earnings expectations are for EPS and for revenue. We're going to talk about Robinhood today. But before we talk about it, do you guys want me to go live? If you do, just drop a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Get this video to over 500 likes. I just want to make sure enough people show up so I can go, and host that live stream. If not, I respect that. No need, no worries. We can just, see how the market reacts individually. But if you want to watch the market react together, drop a thumbs up and I'll host that live stream. With that being said, what's going on with Robinhood? What's my opinion on it? What is the market's expectation? Robinhood has had an amazing 2025, as many tech companies have. But I've actually been pretty impressed with how Robinhood is actually conducting business. Like, it is a well-ran business. Now, is it overvalued? In my opinion, yes, of course, because again, irrational markets support irrational valuations, but it's not terrible. Again, this is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. I want to talk about the good and the bad. Its price performance has been absolutely beautiful. Is this a company that I would invest in right now at $140 per share? No, I think it's way overvalued, incredibly expensive. If you look at what the company produces to what the company is valued at, there's a big disconnect. And we can talk about that in just a little bit. Its earnings per share, its PE ratio is 69.5 times its earnings, incredibly high. Revenue is $3.5 billion, but its net income is 1.7. It came out of the red, so it did lose money. Now it's in the green, but it's in the green only during one of the most bullish markets that we've experienced in quite some time. With that being said, remember, Robinhood's activity has a lot to do with payment through order flow. And right now, people are very active. This is just my opinion. I've had this conversation with my financial advisor. He really liked Robinhood and its potential. And my rebuttal to that, and this is why I love having conversations with other people that have different perspectives, was I get it. It's not super, super expensive. And the P ratio, is high, but it's not like 100, 150, or 200 in comparison to others. But my biggest issue with this is that if we do enter a downturn, we all know that trading activity lowers during downturns. People get margin called, people lose money, they stray away from moments like this. And again, it wasn't just an opinion. I wanted to look at the actual data. And if we click on the pro research for Robinhood, you can see that even just in 2021, right? We were upticking. Do you guys remember 2021? Same thing with its price performance. If we look at this on the week chart, we could see that back in 2021, this was an incredibly bullish stock after it IPO'd because the entire market was at, super bullish. It was an amazing time for Robinhood to IPO. But in 2022, if you guys remember, markets downturned. It lost 90% of its value. Again, it's a new IPO. 90% of its value went to lows of $6.81 per share, and it flatlined for like 2 years. No one cared about Robinhood until about a year to a year and a half ago. And rightfully so, though. It really began to turn things around. But I looked at its revenue. And I also looked at its revenue during that downturn, and we could see that it wasn't a growing company. In 2022, it had a few declines. It wasn't until 2023 it found its support, began to see an incline or an increase in revenue, which again then supports its price action to also be bullish as well. And that's when we began to uptick. It's done an incredible job increasing in value currently during one of the most bullish markets. So to me, it's super simple. If you believe that markets are going to remain bullish, then I would remain bullish on Robinhood, because then you would assume that trading activity would continue to remain the same. It actually is a well-run business, but remember, it has this valuation, it has this revenue during one of the most bullish times. Current conditions support great business for this, but during a downturn, based off of history and based off of how we know they make money, that wouldn't be the case. Again, then you are no longer investing into a company that's increasing in revenue, that's increasing in growth, because now trading activity, as that they make a majority of their money through that, begins to decline. So will their revenue. Food for thought. So if you are bullish on the market and you think things will only continue to get better and markets will only go higher, then people will continue to trade more, I would be bullish on Robinhood. That would be like my idea behind it. But if you think that we could potentially enter a downturn, I would be cautious and I definitely would not be leveraged at these levels. No one can predict the future, but we can all prepare for it, right? Not just based off of opinions, but forming opinions based off of data. And I thought that was very useful. And again, I want to remind you, if you ever want to do your due diligence further, right, as you guys could see, this is Investing Pro. You guys don't have to. They do have an early bird Black Friday sale. You guys get 55% off. Again, it's already always been cheap, but if you sign up right now with the additional 55% off, you get it for less than $9 a month. And again, it's a software that I personally use myself, as you guys see in every single video that almost I make. I love to dig a little bit deeper. So if it's worth $9 to you a month to understand the companies that you're investing in, trading a little bit more, then feel free to check it out. If not, I respect that. Again, you can access this information. You just have to dig maybe a little bit deeper to find it. So this just makes it easy. And the pro research, I think, is super, super valuable to get a deeper understanding of how these companies make money, especially with these, visual flows. I'm a big visual guy here. So the LTM financial models, the flow models, the Q2 financials, and then after today, we will get the Q3 results, and hopefully they'll update this so we can understand exactly, how they're making their money, where they're spending it, and what their net income is. So Robinhood is a very well-run business, right? You guys know that I like talking crap when I feel like it earns it. Is it a undervalued business? No, of course not. It's not a deal, but it is a very well-run business during a very beneficial time for Robinhood. Can Robinhood skyrocket after reporting earnings? I would not be surprised because, again, current economic conditions support it. My only thing is we've kind of been seeing some uncertainty the past week or two as these big tech companies report earnings. They beat expectation, yet they still sell off. The last thing that I want to share with you is big news is supposed to happen today. Supposedly, the Supreme Court today is supposed to decide on Trump's tariffs if they will remain legal. And because of this, supposedly there is an 18% chance that they're going to get approved. And because of this, this is why markets pushed up so much. So if they don't get approved, then markets are expected to rally possibly a little bit higher. Trump is supposed to hold a speech later today. So just the reason I'm sharing this with you is so you're aware of potential volatility that is set to present itself shortly after this news comes out and shortly after his speech. I can't predict the future, and you can't, no one can, on how the markets are going to react or what's going to get reported. All we can do is prepare. Well, Ricky, how do you prepare if you can't predict the future? Well, if you understand that volatility is bound to present itself based off of news that's about to be released, due to uncertainty, you can size down or stay cash, not have an open trade during those volatile times so you can wait for the market to react, see if anything sets itself up, and if it meets your criteria, then you can choose to take a trade once you have and are able to make a more informed trade decision. Remember, less is more in this market full of volatility. I wish you guys nothing but the best. Again, I wanted to do my part in keeping you guys up to date. Again, I don't care if you're a crypto bro, even if you love MSTR, maybe not about MSTR, but even if you love Robinhood, I want to see you make money, but I want to see you make money in a calculated way. Please don't listen to other people blindly. Take time, mold your own opinion, form your own trade plan, and just make sure that you put yourself in favorable positions that the potential to make money is always greater than your potential for risk. And that is why, again, when things push up so high, you often hear me talk about risk because risk becomes then greater than the potential reward. And that's the only thing that I'm here to remind beginners when everyone is encouraging you to buy, just to simply take the risk into consideration. If you still see it to be a good buy, you're an adult, you can do whatever it is that you want, and you should be able to. So I wish nothing but the best for you. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note, and hopefully we'll see you for Robinhood earnings report live stream. Take care, team.